Hello friends, I'm Dee. About to react to this video by Abba and Preach. This is I don't respect people who don't tip. We deserve it. I really like Abba and Preach. I really like their commentary, so I want to hear what they have to say about this topic. I've touched on this topic quite a few times. You know, you probably heard me speak on it, but I don't tip like that. And I don't care who feel what type of way about it. I'm gonna live my life and continue to do what the fuck I want to do. If you want to tip everybody all this money and just give it away, that's your prerogative, but I don't believe in tipping like that. I do it sometimes. It depends. If I get like great service and I love the waiter, then I will tip. If I get my lashes done and I feel like my lash tech did a fire job, I'm tipping you. I get my nails done. Oh, bitch, you did that. My nails are fire. I'm gonna give you a tip. So if I feel like someone goes above and beyond, then I'll show my gratitude by tipping. But for the most part, I'm not tipping because people don't be going above and beyond like that. So I'm not going to do it. I don't want to. So there's that. Anyway, we're going to see what they have to say though. Let's watch.
If you don't have money to tip your server and you go out to eat and don't tip your server, I have zero respect for you.
I really hate when people say this. I'll try my best not to pause this video too much because I have a lot to say about this topic, but I'll keep most of my comments for the end. But this sentiment really annoys me. Like, I cannot stand when people say that if you don't have the money, then don't go out to eat. Who the fuck are you to tell people where they can and can't go? Like, are you stupid? People are going to continue to do what the fuck they want to do. How are you going to say you shouldn't go out to eat if you don't have the extra money to tip? Like, I also think that's really disgusting in classes. It's like, oh, well, if you don't have the extra money, then how about you stay home and eat top ramen? Like, shut the fuck up. If people want to go out to a restaurant and treat themselves to a nice meal, and they want to have that restaurant experience and sit down and have their food hot and fresh, they can do that. But if they don't have the extra money to tip, then they don't fucking have it. But they still can go out to eat. They might really like that restaurant. Who are you to be like, oh, you can't ever go there then if you can't tip them extra money? Like, shut the fuck up. I hate when people say that. And shut my, oh, you don't have my respect. Girl, nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck about having your respect. Nobody knows you. What is that doing? Who cares? So you can sit here and have snot dripping down your nose and be mad about it, and people are going to continue to go out to eat and not tip. And what? Like, girl, shut the hell up.
I am a server making $5-something an hour, and I live off of your tip. I don't care how
See, okay, this is the last time. So much to say about this. That's also another common argument is that, oh, well, they don't make that much money. What does that have to do with me? And that's not to be insensitive, but it's to be realistic. I cannot save every fucking body. You work for this restaurant, girl. That is their responsibility to pay you more. Why aren't they paying you more? Why do I have to pay you more? That don't make sense to me. That is so fucking twisted. And I go to a lot of these other countries and they do not even accept tips. If you try to tip them, they will look at you sideways. They are offended when you try to tip them. It's like, I ain't no fucking charity case, bitch. Keep your couple dollars, ho. That's the energy that they give. So, what? You up here acting like I have to tip in America? This is what I'm obligated to do because fucking Applebee's ain't paying you enough money? So, I gotta come and save you? What? That don't make no sense to me. That's so bizarre. But whatever.
tables I have, how busy I look. I don't care. 9 times out of 10,
And we
I'm
don't
not making
care.
the money
We're
that
not
you think
tipping
I'm
you.
making. And it's crazy because there's so many servers out there, and there's no awareness for this, it feels like. Like, the server industry does not get enough credit for how hard this shit is. It is not easy. It's back-breaking work.
The tipping thing, I don't work in the industry, and I need to rely on that.
Whoa.
It's fun when you make tips. It's fun being on a tip when you make money. It's not when you don't, when people don't tip. And the thing that people forget sometimes is that, well, here in Canada, the tipping is not mandatory, actually. It's very suggested, but it goes according to the service that you have. If you work at a spot and your manager doesn't put enough people on that spot, and then your tip suffers. Your tip suffers because you cannot cater to all those tables. Sometimes I don't tip, not because I have to tip. And some servers like take it in, they take it as you have to tip. I actually have to tip according to the service. If your service was bad, it goes with the service.
Exactly.
That's what the thing
Why
is
the
with
fuck am I
tipping.
tipping?
You understand? And I went to a restaurant, and when one of my friends didn't tip, and then the server came back and it's like, was there something wrong with the service? And I think that
Ooh, that's
the
shocking.
proper way to go about that.
I don't think so.
When you don't receive the amount of tips that you think, you can be like, Was there something wrong with the service? If the person goes, no, then there goes your problem. But if the person says, yeah, there was, which my friend did, you did this, that, orders was wrong, and that, so no, I didn't give you 15. I gave you 10.
I mean, sure, if you want to get feedback, but don't come to me and fucking ask me why I ain't tip you. Get the fuck out my face. I'm not giving you no feedback because I didn't want to. That's why. But I guess it's all how you word it. Like, oh, he could just say, did you enjoy your experience? You know, I guess. But to be like, was there something wrong with the service? It's just like, well, why you didn't tip me? I ain't pausing no more. Sorry.
So there's a thing about the tipping thing. There's really a thing about that. Now, there's a whole other conversation to have if we should have tips or we shouldn't. That's a whole other conversation. I think that we shouldn't have tips. You're paid your wage, and you should accept that. And in your paycheck, it should be included. The tip should be included, right? And then after that, if the client wants to give you more, they give you more. But other than that, that's that. That's the different conversation to have in the same, thing.
I work at a bar and grill, and I love my job. Don't get me wrong, and I'm good at what I do. But it is so degrading to get stiffed, to work so hard, to smile at a table with a big smile on my face despite how stressed I am, and give you good service and then get no tip. Like, I didn't just work my ass off for you. There are good days and there are bad days, and today is a bad day, and I think that the service industry needs better pay because lately society's just not getting it.
If a stripper makes money on good days, she makes money on good days. And on bad days, sometimes she's going to be paid by clients. That's the name of the game. And you chose that game, too. So we have to take that into consideration.
So much entitlement, too. I hate that.
I sympathize with her because I think times are extremely hard right now. People are feeling a lot of financial pinch.
Yeah.
And so their jobs, they count on all their pay to come in, everything. And when you have bad days, you feel stressed.
But I'm not obligated to tip you, bitch.
I'm going to say a few things. One, your stress shouldn't be directed at customers. It should be directed at the industry that pays you less than what you should be paid in order to do the job that you should be doing. It's less than minimum wage, right?
Yep.
Right?
Why you putting that obligation on me?
You make it way more than minimum wage because you get
not
big
your
tip.
employer.
That's the job you decided to enter. Okay?
That's
That's one.
right?
That's two. I reject the notion that tipping leads to better service. Because if you believe that, that means that you believe that everywhere else we go where we don't get tips or we don't offer tips, everyone's offering subpar service.
And that's not
customers.
true.
That's not been my experience.
Yeah.
And so this idea that you are rendering a service that is somehow deserving of extra money as if it was better, I've never seen it. Have y'all? So I reject this notion that tipping leads to better service. That is fucking cap. What it leads to is entitlement. That's what it leads to. I've seen servers get upset at people for not tipping. Guess what? Bro, I look at the bill. She mad and there's no tip. There's a gratuity.
That's already included in the... Yeah!
Nigga!
He's on it. Yep.
How are you gonna expect a tip?
These niggas preaching.
Already included.
These niggas preaching.
Tip. I tip every time I go out because that's a social norm. Right? I'm not gonna be out here looking crazy.
You're not gonna be a fucking whole
okay? I just reject the notion that it makes the service better or that this is how it should be. Like everywhere else around the world, they work it out with no tips.
Sorry, I just can't hold this one in. And I'll go even further to add that I can't speak about how it is in Canada, but in America, I also get a heavy vibe from a lot of waiters that they feel like I'm not going to tip. So I'll see them being very polite to other tables, but they'll get to me and their whole mood and attitude will shift. And I feel like it's because I'm black and they're feeling like, black people don't be tipping like that. So let me not even bother to give her over the top service because she's not going to tip me. And you goddamn right I'm not. You're fucking right I'm not. I used to tip a lot, to be honest. Like years ago, I would tip a lot more often. But and even when I was tipping, I would always feel that. Like, wow, they feel like I'm not about to tip when I actually am. Like, I'm planning on tipping. But look how they're treating me. And I'm comparing it to how I'm seeing you treat other people nearby. Like, why are you treating me like this? Like, and I'm very polite to workers all the time. So it's like, why are you acting funny? But it's because I'm black, okay? It's because I'm black and you feel like I'm not going to tip you. So that also goes into the service. So why the fuck am I going to go out of my way to tip you when you're already acting like, oh, she ain't tipping anyway? Like,
It's expected.
I'll let
but you
them
want to
talk.
act like here, this shit's normal. This is what we've established as a system. It's a stupid and broken system. I play by the rules because I live here, okay? But I don't make any illusions about, the server, it's not. And you're lying to yourself if you think it is. I know servers who work at some restaurants where they're making more than, like, people working in medical fields, people working in they make a lot of money doing service work.
Yeah, some of them.
That's the highs.
Nice
Guess what?
Yeah.
Somebody got to experience the lows. But don't get mad at the regular customer when your employer is not subsidizing your wage. That's their mistake, not ours. That's all I'm going to say.
But it is so degrading to get stiffed. To work so hard, to smile at a table with a big smile on my face despite how stressed I am.
You have to smile at customers and pretend like your day's good. Welcome to having a job.
Especially customer service.
Is it because?
No.
Customer service.
Welcome to having a job. Whose job you think goes into work not feeling great and don't have to smile and offer good customer service?
I think that's America. Because that's one thing, like, we did the video on America, good and bad and shit. But sometimes the service in America, Jesus Christ, do you even like your job? Do you even like your job?
Probably they don't. And understand, life is hard. But, like, that's welcome to having a job. I sympathize. Because I understand when it's like when you're not making money and you stress about your bills. Mm-hmm. I understand. Venting this shit at regular people as if they're the ones, they might be, listen, if you can't afford it, you shouldn't go to the spot. Or maybe you guys should just make a better system, to be honest with you. What if you just did that? Because I go to restaurants in Europe all the time. They don't have this bullshit. So why is that a case here? I don't know. To me, it's like you got a busted system. You're expecting it to work for you. It hasn't for a very long time. It likely won't in the future as things get harder financially. I'm not mad at the frustration because I think it's unfair that you get paid $4 an hour because people didn't tip or whatever it is. But it's also because you just didn't get paid properly by your employer. That's the truth of the matter. So that's how I feel about it. Anything else you want to say?
Like the employer that employs you relies on the customer to pay your wage. No, that's his job. That's his job.
That's weird.
That's his job.
That's weird as fuck.
No, it's not his fault. I know, it's the customer that don't pay. Mm-hmm. No, the customers pay your boss, and your boss pays you. Mm-hmm. That's any job. Mm-hmm. That's any job.
True.
But, hey, it is what it is. Every time I go to New York, and I go to places, and I'm like, I say, what would you like? I say, yes, please, and thank you. And they're like, you're not from around here. I'm like, well, yeah, but what, because I'm polite?
That's in New York.
Like, yeah.
And you know what kills me? This is such a backwards mentality. When I was 17, I used to work a sales job. It was basically minimum wage, but if you sold a lot of units, you get extra money. Yeah. And there was weeks where I was top seller for consecutive months. I was getting that money, and there was other weeks where, like, niggas' pockets was tight. They couldn't have money to offer to buy stuff, or it wasn't a good time period for them. So I was not making no bonuses, and that paycheck looked a little dusty.
And look meek.
Okay. I didn't sit there and think, man, fuck these people. Get your money up, you broke. I thought to myself, I gotta work harder to be able to make these sales so the next month my shit.
And it's so ironic that she said if you don't have the money to go out to eat, but you make it $5 an hour.
Buy into how you get your extra income seems stupid to me. Get your service up there.
But it's not the same. A bonus is not the same thing as tipping. Because a tip is you rely on the customer to give you a tip based on the service they receive. A bonus is the company's like, hey, I made more cash thanks to you. I'ma cut you some. It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. It's the same category, same different degree.
Different degree,
right? Because she's making $5 an hour. I'm making $8. Okay, there's a difference there absolutely in terms of how much money there is. I'm getting at least the minimum wage. But what I'm trying to say is I didn't get that extra. The same way she didn't get that extra. My whole point is your turnaround should not be, oh, something's wrong with them. They didn't give me that. You should be like, yo, how can I work harder? How can I do more?
And the thing that happens,
at least that's the way I would approach it.
If it's that frequent, there is something wrong.
Yeah.
If you're in a place where it is known that you're supposed to tip, and that's why I was referencing to your boss not putting enough people on the floor, right? If you're in a spot, a workplace, in an area that tipping is a thing, and it happens so frequently that you don't get your tips, Either the service is wrong, either the food is off, either you're not enough people on things, so it takes a long time for people to get their plates. So, I don't know. Let's think this one through further a little bit. Let's give it a little bit more thoughts on that one.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments.
I ain't tipping you niggas. And I don't care who judging that or got a negative opinion about it. So fucking what? I'm going to continue to do it. And what? And what you going to do? Nothing. But run your mouth and be mad about how other people live their lives and make their decisions. What they do with their goddamn money. How you going to tell what to do with my fucking money that I work for? Like, what? That shit is so bizarre. And like they're saying, it's not the fucking responsibility of the customer to make sure you're getting paid. This is your employer's responsibility. Like, I wouldn't mind if they all charge more for the food. Do that. Charge more for each item on the menu so that you can pay your servers more. Bow. Problem solved. That's all you have to do. Or add it into the bill. You know, I have been places where, you know, gratuity is just automatically added. And it's like, in order to eat here, you got to pay this gratuity. Or you can't eat here. So it's like, hey, I respect it. I accept it. I want to eat the food, so I got to pay the gratuity. I don't have a problem with that. But if you are going to leave it up to me, I'm going to use my own discernment. And if I don't like your fucking server because she's barely checking on me or acting funny when she gets to my table, I'm not fucking tipping her. And there's that. What? I think this system is so flawed. It's so fucked up. And the way that people have been brainwashed in America to believe that it is our responsibility as customers to make sure that they're paid, I think is so, like, mentally ill. Like, y'all sound crazy. I don't think y'all understand how crazy y'all sound. If you go to other parts of the world, you'll get a bigger picture. And it'll be like, wow, yeah, wait, this don't make sense. But you are just stuck in this bubble and you have been brainwashed to believe a certain thing and you're just running with it. Like, fuck out of here. I just can't. Anyway, that's how I feel about the whole tip situation. Clearly I feel very strongly about it, and those are my opinions, but you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna continue to do what the fuck I want to do. At the end of the day, you do what you want as far as tipping people. But y'all let me know what y'all thought. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see y'all the next time. Bye.